Senior David Dresner doesn't want his kids to have parents who are second-class citizens. Over the next 26 months, Dresner hopes to jumpstart a national movement by applying new strategies to gain equal rights for the LGBT community. The idea for the movement, which is calling itself the Right Side of History, began with St. Louis native Brian Elliott. The pair hope to engage the straight community to pass sweeping civil rights legislation that would grant the LGBT community the same rights that are afforded to heterosexuals in America.
Sure. Well, the project's called The Right Side of History, and it's a modern-day civil rights movement which is an effort to rally straight youth and reframe the LGBT equality issue in America and garner support first among the university students and ultimately, just youth throughout America. 7 weeks ago, I got a call from Brian Elliott, and he said, "Dave, how long do you think it'll take to get equality for gays?" And I was like, probably 25, 30 years till we have all 50 conversations. And he said, "What if I could do it in 26 months by passing one piece of legislation in the summer of 2011? And I said, "How can I help?" And I kind of paused my business track to go work for corporate America, and I'm ready to devote 2 years of my life for this cause. And come December 31st, we have a yay-nay decision whether we're going to take this national. But right now we're doing a kind of asking the questions, what would it take? And doing a test run to see if we can garner the support that's needed to take this issue seriously. Well, ultimately, we think that reframing the issue not as a gay movement and focusing on the 5 or 10%, but focusing on the 95% demographic will be more powerful. We also think that other movements lack a face and a narrative. We're looking for the next Rosie the Riveter. We're looking for the success of the Live Strong campaign, merchandising. We're not looking to reinvent the wheel. The Right Side of History, well, we felt that the name was, Obama gave a speech that talked about Iran and said how we need to be on the right side of history. And I said, before we could be on the right side of history abroad, we need to be on the right side of history in our home front. And the fact that second-class citizens exist in a bona fide group in America is absolutely the most absurd thing I've ever heard.
While the Right Side of History has generated a lot of interest on campus, its strategy to focus on the support of straight youth is not uncontroversial within the LGBT community. LGBT advocates on campus have said that while they support the Right Side of History's ultimate goal, they would employ different strategies to achieve these same rights.
We definitely think the Right Side of History is well-intentioned, and we agree that allies are a very important part of the LGBT movement. We hope that he will incorporate education and also gender identity in this movement. But I think that Pride Alliance and the Right Side of History ultimately have the same goal. The way that Pride and the Right Side of History go about this goal might be different, but ultimately it's the same goal. Pride understands the Right Side of History. Its focus is that it's taking this movement and focusing on the straight allies as opposed to focusing on LGBT people. We aren't directly affiliated with this movement. We don't feel excluded from this movement. However, Pride and the Right Side of History won't be collaborating on things really,
Dresner has launched his campaign with the support of SIGEP. Many of his fraternity brothers have helped the movement gain momentum, drawing on their experiences of what it's like to have a gay fraternity brother.
I think it's good and incredibly important to involve straight people, considering that is the majority of America. And I think it's an alternative. I wouldn't say it's even a 100% alternative way to go about it, but it is good that he's focusing more on the straight people. I think it's there are a lot of people that want to get involved and want to help. The thing is branching out outside of WashU and spreading to the majority of WashU.